Hi, I'm Florence. I'm a San Francisco glass artist, and we're here in my studio to take a look at the glasswork, hear a little bit about the background of how glasswork is done, and see some of the pieces I have that you might enjoy or might like to buy. I originally grew up in New York City and have a background in art from elementary school all the way through college. I attended music and art, and then I went to Skowhegan School of Art as a painter. I discovered glass in San Francisco, and I just really fell in love with its quality of iridescence and luminosity and how it works with light. The kind of glass work I do is both leaded glass and fused glass, which is often called warm glass. Fused glass is cut and put together and designed by hand from sheets of glass of different colors like this that are all compatible in the oven. Here we are at the kiln. This is a glass kiln. It's similar to a ceramic kiln, but the temperatures are much higher. The temperature that glass needs to be melted at is approximately 1600 degrees. When we put the work in here and the finished piece, and I close the lid and set it, it will slowly, over a period of approximately 12 to 24 hours, reach the peak of 15 to 1600 degrees. During that time, the glass will be entirely melted into liquid form, but will hold its shape and still maintain its edges. Then there's a long period of cool down. Glass is very sensitive, it stresses easily, and it breaks and cracks. So it's very important that the process of the glass melting and then the glass rehardening is done very accurately. It's a technical part of the artwork that has to be mastered. After it's melted and then hardened and then cooled down all the way, we can open the kiln door and take out a piece that would be semi-finished. For example, we'd get a sheet that we put in with the original painting would come out flat. Then there'll be a second process if we want to make a bowl or any kind of object. And the second process will be molding the form. Molding the form requires putting the glass back into a mold or some shape that we've designed that we want the piece of glass to take form in, and getting it up to about 1200 degrees, during which the glass just softly melts enough to take the form but does not flatten out all the way. And in doing that, we can get a shape of a bowl. These are the fused pieces. Some have been painted and some are not painted. This is a basket weave type bowl that's done by layering different strips of glass, then melting it and molding it. It's really excellent for holding fruits in, has a lot of ventilation, interesting design. This is an example of a painted tray that's all hand painted, the design of mine. Can also be done in any color and can custom design. Can also do custom writing on it if you'd like your name, your anniversary, your wedding date, wedding plates, and personalized items like that. This is a very large, handsome bowl, elegant, hand painted in iridescent black glass, very metallic looking. And these are examples of large square platters in iridescent glass. This is a great example of a tray that I hand painted. Most of the painting I do is either in platinum ink or 14 karat gold ink. The reason for that is because it can withstand the very high temperatures of the kiln, and other colors break down faster than metals. It is hand inked by me with a small tool, and the designs are either old traditional designs, classical designs like this Art Nouveau design, or invented designs that I do. Here are some examples of my leaded work that I do for wall pieces. These three were originally a thought that I had of a triptych to base on the original painting by Matisse called La Rosa Nuda. At the bottom, a light-skinned woman, a brown-skinned woman, and a pink-skinned woman, all in somewhat a different setting. They can be purchased individually or as a group, and I can make them customized to your taste. A lot of my leaded work is pretty treacherous work. As you can see, we cut a lot and it's pretty complicated. It goes through multiple processes: the design, the original design, the choice of glass, the cutting of the glass to fit into each of the areas like a puzzle, then the leading, in which every piece is wrapped and connected in lead, and thereafter the soldering of every joint so that it all stays together on both sides. After that, it's puttied so that it holds together as a window would, and then it's cleaned and varnished and then sometimes tinted. So they are complicated pieces, and they do take quite a bit of time, and a very different process than the fused glass, which is a more spontaneous form that is melted in the kiln and then takes on somewhat of a life of its own, where the leaded is very controlled, very restricted, and very much planned out in the beginning. So I'm happy to introduce you to my art forms, and I hope that you find them fascinating as I do, and would be pleased to have you own any of these one-of-a-kind art pieces. You can see them all on my website along with prices, and I can always customize them to your size, your coloring, or the shape that you'd like. Thank you.